Yeah, hi there. My name is Chris Kane. I'm with Amjo. We've been a distributor of the Curatronic products for, I guess, very close to 15 years. We're one of, if I think we're the first distributor to begin helping the Curatronic in Israel back in 2001. Anyway, that being said, we've got a lot of experience, and at this time I'd like to sort of give you a quick overview of the programming software that's available for the PC and the 3D. Matter of fact, if you would order a 3D or a PC, the software, of course, is included. And the the Curatron been around for 15 years or so. There are several models. We've got two or three home and lower energy program or systems for clinical use, and then our two top systems are the PC or personal computer model, which also includes Mac, as well as the 3D uh, control unit, which is significantly more powerful, and it also we've got software for it for the PC and the Mac. Well, that being said, I think one of the things we need to cover with everything in this field, being an American company, is we're going to do a quick disclaimer. The Curatron is not a medical device. It has not been evaluated by the FDA, and it is not intended for the diagnosis, treatment, or cure of any medical condition. There, I said it. All right. If you were to bring up your PEMF software, which comes with these units, then this is what you'd see when you first open it. And obviously, it's kind of dull looking, but there's quite a bit hidden behind a very few menu items here. But the file option, you can exit. Big deal. Patient. We can create a new patient. If we had a patient, we could delete it. And if we had a patient, we could print a patient report. But obviously, we've got to have a patient before we do anything. The treatment, once we have a patient, we can start a treatment. Right now, you can't start a treatment as gate out because we don't have a patient. Anyway, what we can do right now, if we wanted to, is edit custom disorders. This is a section of the program where you can create your own program to determine the number of minutes a particular segment is going to run, the energy level it's going to run at, and the frequency it's going to run at. And press the silly one that's probably most important at the beginning is this help menu. And you click on preferences. And this is actually where you would put in the password. You may have already done this by now, but the password, which is on the back of your Curatron 2000 PC or Curatron 2000 3D. That password is important. It links into this software, and when you enter that password at this location, then the system you've got, the Curatron you've got, is now linked to this software, and they can talk to one another. So I'm going to, this is already linked, so I'm going to get out of this. And oh, by the way, after you've input the password, if you haven't read the manual, and for gosh sakes, I really do hope you do, the manual says, put in the password, save it, and then exit the software. You don't have to reboot the computer. Just exit the PEMF software and rerun the software, and then the password will be basically take control. Okay, we need to create a patient, and obviously we need a new patient. And I think we'll do one here called the Bionic Woman. Oops, come on, last name, Bionic Woman. Her birth date, let's imagine she was born in 05, 01, 1945. How's that? I don't know when she was born, but I don't know. And she was played by, if you want to add, you can add notes about the patient. She was played by an actress called Lindsay Wagner, I believe. Okay, we have a patient. Now, when I go over here to treatment, you notice I can start a treatment. And the patient's name is Bionic Woman. I have her selected from this area over here on the left side. And we can treat her with standard disorders, which are the 60 or so that are in the manual, that are also on the website and are available to be selected from. We've got some that are specifically for brain disorders. That's really to do with the 1600 Gauss coil for the 3D. And we've got custom disorders, which is anything you want, really, for anything. And the last one here is combo applicator. We've got we've just recently introduced, you may not know about it, but a probe, which is generates not only PEMF energy, but it also creates a low-level light therapy, and it's a 640 nanometer red light that actually is kind of neat. It blinks at the same relative energy level as the magnetics, and it can really help with pain relief. Anyway, I'm going to go for standard disorders, and I'm going to choose one. And why don't I just choose osteoporosis? That's sort of a common trait with many people today. Whoops. I'm going to choose it. I didn't for some reason. Osteoporosis is selected. I say OK. And this other little blinking menu comes up, which looks like this. It showed up on the other part of my screen, and I just dragged it in here to the movie. And yes, the osteoporosis program is a 30-minute program. And if I click on the green arrow, the timer will start counting down. In the real world, this is 30 minutes, and it will take 30 minutes to run. And I will say that roughly every 5 minutes, it changes frequency and it changes intensity. If you were to hold a magnet in your hand while the treatment's going on, you would see that or notice that. So I'll click on the green arrow, and you can see it's going by a lot more quickly than you might experience for a full 30 minutes. But that's to make it easier for us to work with. The beeping noise that you heard is the end of program. I'm going to hit the red block, and I'm out of there. A couple of things have happened. Here in the treatment history, we have, for the Bionic Woman, you see that on this date, 9/8/2015, which is when I ran this, we treated with an osteoporosis treatment, and it was 30 minutes long. So this is saved in the software for you under the Bionic Woman's name, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so that being done, I'm going to treat her for something else. I mean, we'll just add a couple in here. Starting a treatment, and this time I'm going to go again with standard disorders, and I'm going to try, prostatitis. That'd be good for her. No, it wouldn't. Let me just look here. I'm just looking. Oh, I know, fibromyalgia, which is kind of a common one that is required. The fibromyalgia treatment sets up a set of frequencies and energy levels that can help people with the pain of fibromyalgia. So I click yes or click go. 30-minute time, go. It runs for 30 minutes. Very quick 30 minutes the way we're doing it here, but it does run for 30 minutes. Then this noise happens, and when you hear the noise, you can turn it off. I'm going to end. And you see what's happened here, of course, is a second 30-minute treatment has been entered. It's kind of weird that the two of them are so close together in time, and yet they're 30 minutes long. And I think you can figure out why that is. It's kind of not the right way to do it. But if that patient, I'm going to quickly look at Now, what we'll do is we'll create edit custom disorder. And, I started to do one for her. So I'm going to delete a stage and delete a stage and delete a stage. All right, so now for rusty joint, which I'm going to add a disorder, um, painful nose. How's that? This is obviously a fake treatment, but for painful nose, now I've got to add the various stages, and by that I mean we typically recommend that you create 5 or 6 minute, maybe 10-minute stages. But what we want to do is we want the frequency to change periodically, and every 5 minutes is about the right amount, so that the cells in the body don't get accustomed to that particular frequency. So let's add a stage, and I'm going to double click on this, and I'm going to choose 5 minutes. I'm going to leave it at 10 hertz. So it's going to run at 10 hertz, and its intensity originally is going to be 100%. That's fine. So I'm going to say add another stage. And this time I'm going to go back and again choose 5 minutes. This time I'm going to make the frequency, let's make it 22 hertz. And this one I'm going to make, it's kind of cool, 150%. And we're going to have to explain that to you in another way. The 150% is the maximum power rating of each of these, where we talk about, for example, the unit goes up to, let's say, 1,000 Gauss. We mean that 150% is 1,000 Gauss. And in round numbers, the 100% is somewhere around 700 Gauss. But we do have to find a better way to explain that to you, and we will eventually. But I'll add another stage, and this time I'm going to add, again, a 5-minute stage. And we will make it 50 hertz. And we'll do this one at 125%. And we'll add one more stage. Come on, baby. For 5 minutes. Frequency of 2 hertz, which is 2 times per second. We'll leave it at 100%. And I'll just say close. So now we've created a treatment which I called nose pain or something like that, if I recall. So now Lindsay's back with us, and she's ready for another treatment. And I go in here and I say start treatment, and I can select a custom disorder, and painful nose is one of them, and I can run it. And if you recall, I set up 4 5-minute segments, and believe it or not, 4 times 5 is 20 minutes, and I'm going to run them. And again, it's going to count down for 20 minutes. The noise happens at the end saying, I'm done, and I end the treatment. That basically is a quick overview of what goes on. And I mentioned earlier, we can create a patient report. And I did that, and what's happening now is there's a page which you can print, and I have birth date of 5/1/1945, played by all the notes I put in, and these are the 3 treatments she's had, and that is the report. And of course, you can save that report as a PDF, or depending on what software you're using, you can send it out to a fax machine or whatever you're going to do it. That's basically what happens with that report. It's kind of cool. Anyway, that gives you, I think, an overview of the patient software. And by all means, if you have any confusion or want to give us a call, we can work this out. That's our phone number there. My name is Chris. And if I don't know it, I do know people that do know it. And we'll be able to help you. Thanks.